classes. Okay. So students, we are going to start with the practical number 2. Now see, am I clearly audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming, Sania. Now, see, in the previous practicals, we all had discussed about the protochordate, and I had already told you that in the case of the protochordate, we will be having identify, classify, and giving reason. But the bit difficult thing into the practical one was that the animal will be other than the prescribed animal in the syllabus. So for that, I told you that it is really very important for you all to watch that video, because I had already recorded that video as well of that protochordata. So if you will understand the features of that particular class, you will be able to identify the animal. Now see, question number 2, a little bit is for this particular question is there, which is going to be this particular part, that gnathostomata, in that they will be asking you to identify, classify, and describe. Now here the animal will be given from the textbook, or you can say our prescribed syllabus only, but there will not be any option. Now here in the Gnathostomata, we will be learning the 5 classes. So from each class, one animal will be asked, and each animal you have to identify for the 3 marks. Is that clear? Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, shall we go ahead now? See, student, we have started with the phylum chordata. Semester 5, we have discussed about the invertebrates. In the semester 6, we have started with the chordate. Now, I told you that chordate key features you should remember like a mantra, that these are most abundant. Their structure is bilateral. They are coelomate, rhiploblastic, and they have the complete digestive system. And these 3 fundamental character you should by heart like a mantra. What are those? Notochord is present, nerve cord is present, and pharyngeal gill cleft, or they may be having the gill slits if it is the fish. So thereafter we have discussed about protochordate. In the subphylum, sorry, in the group protochordata, we all have discussed about the urochordata, then cephalochordata, and thereafter we have started with the vertebrata. In the vertebrata, we have discussed about the agnathostomata, which are the protochordate. But now today we will be talking about the gnathostomata. When we talk about the vertebrate, so here what character makes them vertebrate? This first point is the most important, student, that in the earlier case into the protochordate, urochordate, as well as the cephalochordate, we all have discussed that a notochord is present. Maybe it is present in all the stages of their life, or it may be present into the some part. In the case of the urochordate larvaceae family, we all have seen that it is present into the tail region. But in this particular subphylum vertebrates, we all have discussed that their vertebral column will be having, which is protecting the nerve cord. So here the notochord that is going to be replaced with the vertebral column. Not necessarily this vertebral column is made up of hard bone. It may be the cartilaginous, or it may be some other structural skeleton will be there. So such animal will definitely show the endoskeleton. Now see, when we talk about the uh, skeleton is of 2 type, and the purpose of the skeleton is to protect the animal. So when we talk about the exoskeleton, so exoskeleton is protecting animal from the outside, and it may be hard dermis or something. But and limitations of the exoskeleton, when the animal grows, so they have to change it, like we are growing, so we have to change our dresses, right? If my baby was 6 months, now for 1 year I cannot use the same clothes. I have to change, I have to take the big cloth. So same way, they are also shedding their exoskeleton, and they are developing the new exoskeleton, and that process, if it is related to the skin, it is called as the ecdysis. Now when we talk about the endoskeleton develops with the animal, and it is the inner skeleton which is present beneath the muscles most of the time. And that when as the animal grows, the endoskeleton also grows. Then nervous system will be highly developed. Earlier cases we will have seen they were acraniata, but when we talk about the, what do you mean by acraniata? No head, no brain, no cranium. But in this particular subphylum vertebrates, we have the animal who's having the highly developed the nervous system. Now here,
Yeah.
who's this? Someone is unmute. Please mute the mic. Okay, let us continue. Now, see, when we talk about the nervous system of this animal, their nervous system will be highly developed. Now, earlier we will have seen that the animal, they were not having brain. Instead, they were having the ganglions. So here, the ganglionated structure will be highly developed and will um, form a proper brain. Now, this brain is going to be protected with the cranium. Now, here cephalization is well marked. This is the important feature of the vertebrata. Please note it down. Cephalization is well marked. It means they will be having highly developed head. Okay, so here the head will be proper. There they will be having a proper mouth. They will be having proper head, and their body will be divided ideally into the neck, trunk, and tail. So let us discuss what. Let us revise what we have discussed. We have discussed that the phylum Chordata, in that many subphylum are there, and in that there's one of the first subphylum is the vertebrata. Vertebrates, there are two division, Agnathostomata. Now see, these divisions are made on the basis of the presence and absence of the jaws. If the jaws are absent, the animal would be called as the Agnathostomata. Agnathostomata we had already discussed into the previous lecture. If you were absent, you can watch, it is available on the YouTube. And when we talk about the next division, which we are going to discuss today, today we will be just talking about the basic features of the Gnathostomata, and thereafter I'm having another lecture, another some engagement. Thereafter we will continue with the classification of the Gnathostomata, but for particularly this lecture we will be just discussing about the Gnathostomata, only the basic features, but about its classification and all we will have a talk into the next lecture, which I will be taking after 11 o'clock. Okay, sorry, after 12 o'clock. So let us discuss about the Gnathostomata. Gnathostomata here, all the uh, animals will be highly modified, or here the super class. Now say student, here you have to remember the super class in the sequence, that is the Pisces, and thereafter the amphibians will be there, then thereafter reptiles will be there, then aves will be there, and at the end mammal. How do I remember? I remember it with the small word param. Param, param. So P for Pisces, A for amphibian, then R for reptile, then A for aves, and M for mammal. Now here two time A is there, so don't get confused. Now remember them with the evolution. In water we will start, you also know that the life started evolving from the water. So this way, if you will make some logic, so that will be very easy for you to remember. P for Pisces, in the water, then amphibian, those who can utilize both the water as well as the land as a habitat. And thereafter we are having the complete terrestrial. First terrestrial animal is the reptile, then other highly evolved animal are the reptiles, and thereafter mammal, who have conquered all the three ecosystem, that is the aerial as well as water and the your land, terrestrial land. Okay, so this way if you will remember, that will be very easy for you to remember into the sequence. So let us discuss about the key features of the gnathostomata. The most important feature of the gnathostomata is that these are the jaw vertebrates. Now see, when we talk about the jaw vertebrates, that means they will be having the jaw bones, and these jaw bones will be having teeth embedded in. So teeth is one of the most important feature or most advanced structure which we will be observing in this particular class onwards. Sorry, in this particular division onwards, and this is the highly advanced, or you can say highly evolved group of the animal. Okay, now, thereafter, you will find that they have a very good marked locomotion, and this for the locomotion they utilize their pad fin, or maybe they may have the limbs, as we all are going to discuss from tetrapods onward. But in the initial classification, we will be having a discussion about the pad fins, and then thereafter you will be finding that gills are present. Now see, gills we have seen into the earlier animals also. Even we have discussed about the gills into the invertebrates as well, but the thing was they were just having the gills. But here the evolved structure is the gill arches. Student, gill arches, note down the term. These are the supporting bone which protects the gills. Now earlier we have discussed about the gills, but they were not having the gill arches. Along with that, in their gills, now see, they will be having the proper, or you can say well marked circulatory system. So here they will be having the bronchial blood vessel. Bronchial blood vessel, now see, term bronchia is always related to the bronchus, and it relates to the respiratory surface. So they will be having the proper bronchial blood vessels which are passing from the gills and which is responsible for oxygenating of the blood. Then thereafter we have the calcified skull, one of the most important feature of the class vertebrata, and they will be having proper vertebral column, except only one class, that is chondroichitis. You will not find the vertebral column. And thereafter we have the another feature, that they have the proper opening for the breathing, and this is the nasal sac. Nasal sac opens separately to the exterior side. Along with that, they will be having the horizontal semicircular canal into the internal ear. So all the fishes, all the amphibians, all the reptiles, all the birds, all the mammals, all these are included into the group Gnathostomata. We will having the discussion about the Gnathostomata into the next lecture as well. But for this note, we have to stop right now because I have some other important work. So we can stop at this point.